It's been like
a year?
Like a year? A little over?
Over a year.
It's been over a year.
Yeah.
We look different.
Oh yeah, totally.
I was very antisocial during Hypertech and kind of, and like after, like I learned how to socialize with people and express myself to people. At first I was just like, leave me alone.
Your voice has gotten louder.
Yeah, that's
You were
it.
very quiet back then.
Speak a lot more.
Take your imaginative sense, however you need to get out there, move down this hallway, listen to the sounds from your way in today or on your walk. So what do you hear? Real or imagined sound? All right, so listen back to last week to anything read or told from the rewrite session.
The Young Authors playlist was different kids from around the city, really. We all got together, we wrote, we talked about our feelings. I became really close with a lot of the people that were there.
So the Young Author Playlist is an online curriculum and challenge where young people can get their feet wet in writing all the way to diving into developing their own collection of work, which is really about building the skills of not only writing, but creative writing and coming to an identity as a writer. And we met Angel through that process. She participated in the online challenges and unlocked an 8-week writing workshop with Christine Rice in Hypertext Studios, where she was able to read her story as a part of Columbia's Story Week.
So vantage point is, let's say you're a little kid and you're this tall, you're gonna be seeing everything from a different vantage point. Or, for example, in Alan's piece.
At first I told them, like, because they asked me to go places, I say I take school, and there's like Saturday school for like the slow kids. I'm like, no, I go to Columbia, and they didn't believe me, so I had to like show my acceptance letter and everything. I'm technically the first person to go to college in my family, even though I'm not in the college. There was a lot of commitment surrounding the program because I got up on Saturdays about 7 every day. 6 if I wanted to do something to my face or hair. And yeah, get on the bus to go to Corliss, then get on another bus to take me to 3 other schools to pick up the other kids, and then we would head downtown.
Shelly's blue eyes shone with laughter as she turned to me. She studied me quizzically. Weren't you at one of my parties last summer?
This park seems to be a place of, she paused as if to measure her words, but I probably decided. When the program first started, it was a lot of us. It was so much of us that they had to break the class into 2, but people slowly stopped coming, and by people I mean the girls, because it was about an even amount of girls and boys. And slowly, very, very slowly, I became the last one.
All right, everyone see it. See sign in your place. Not just floating around up here, but see it in a place. Good. What else does that give you to see? If you take a leap off of that immediate site, what else does that give you to see?
Waves.
Yeah.
Like
good.
water.
Good.
Like in school, I think there's a big push to like write the way your teacher asks you to. And like I never really liked that, and that's why like I kind of never told my teachers like that I like to write. And like here at Columbia, like they push us to like write the way we like to write.
And the way I teach at Hypertext Studio is based on, it's called the story workshop method. It's a different kind of way of writing because you're going with what's taking your attention and your voice and seeing. What do you want to write about? What's dramatic to you?
Several generations ago, in this culture, we divorced writing from talking. People think that they have to abandon the language that they speak at home and in their neighborhoods, which is where all their intelligence and all their creativity is. It's in the language that they use every day.
What we try to do with the way we teach is to get them to listen to their voice, how they speak, what they say to their friends, how they talk, and to get that down on the page.
It was slightly chilly due to a breeze, but I could tell something wasn't right. She was too quiet, and the intensity in the air made me quiet as well.
Speaking of the blackout, let me just tell you that I was right. I told you it was going to happen, but no. You said, why should I listen to Alan? He's crazy.
I could still faintly see the ghost of the moon from the night before, then gracefully in the sky, here and half across the world.
There's war inside all of us, and it's up to us if we control or set it free. There's not just one war, but many.
So you guys remember Rebel?
Yeah, I was like, this girl's kind of crazy, man. Like, whoa. I was like expecting a really nice, quaint story.
So I made Rebel into a comic. And so far, the short story is going to be the first comic, and then the second comic is going to be like what happens next.
With just like with the Zimmerman thing, you could also, also put other events that have happened that have to, that correspond with that as well.
Because since Zimmerman, there's been a lot more development.
It's gonna be a long comic series.
Yeah.
It's never gonna end, is it?
Oh, I don't think so, sadly.
So when I was younger, I was the kid who would write stories in my spare time. To the point where if my friends wanted to hang out with me, they had to write stories too, because that's what I was doing. And so it was really important for me in thinking about designing this, particularly around writing, how important community is, how important it is to be connected to other people who carry not just an interest, but a passion.
I don't know if writing's a sport, more of a passion. I don't know. It'd be weird though, like who can write the more.
When I went to the Young Artist Playlist, that was my first time really being around writers my age, because at first I wasn't really around them. I wasn't around writers at all. When I first was around the kids, I felt a little intimidated because they had better ideas than me. Their vocabulary was larger, their stories seemed more interesting. I felt like I was in competition at first.
What kind of books do you like to read?
Fantasy.
Fantasy books?
Like Twilight or something.
Like Twilight? That's cool. I like to read I would say more, I don't know, like realistic books, like with real life things in it. I don't know, like more of information type things.
I talked to my mom, and she told me that I don't have to feel intimidated. So I kind of had to get over it, but eventually when I opened myself up to the rest of the class, I learned that these people don't feel like how I feel. They're just here to write, they're just here to have fun, so why can't I be here to have fun too?
Writers we always think we're weirdos, but we like it when we find our other weirdos, that came from the same writer's planet as we did. So they find their place and they find their people.
Some people like the fact that I'm writing at my school. Some people think it's a waste of time because I'm not going to go anywhere with it. And I go to a STEM school, so it's always science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Writing doesn't fit into that a lot.
For me, whenever I share my writing, people look at it and they're like, kind of turned off by it because I write about things that are real, like mental illness, depression, anxiety, like those experiences. So whenever I share it with a teacher, my English teacher or my creative writing teacher, they always assign me to, I think you should go to counseling. 3 times they told me that. I'm like, I'm just writing this because I know other teens go through these things and it needs to be, talked about.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the last event of Story Week 2015. You guys, you're in the same literary festival with all of these people. Yeah, there's some big names and you're a part of it.
The Chicago's Story Week was the first time I ever really shared my writing with anybody besides my family. Hello, my name is Angel Potts. Hello. Rebel by Angel. When I read Rebel at Story Week, it was like the best thing ever because I guess no one was expecting the story to come out of me. Because as I was reading it, I was nervous. You could hear like the shakiness in my voice, but I'm like, this is so cool. People are hearing my story. This is something I really love about her. And boy, can she put it away. But she carries it well. I mean, she's really stuffing her face, chubby cheeks and all. See, my mother looks very young. The importance of sharing my stories with audiences is that I want to reach somebody. I just want this for people to look back on, for people to look forward on, a sport too. Something to give people hope. According to Fox News, they say no one really knows who sought revenge against Zimmerman. But there is definitely a lasting impression from a mural of Trayvon Martin painted on Zimmerman's bedroom wall. It is now confirmed that at least one of the suspect names is Rebel. I happily close my laptop as a gush of wind blows my hair all over the place into my face and tap the window of the pickup truck and ask Danny and John, so who's next? The end for now.
Like when I finished, I looked up and everyone was like, I did it, you know, I broke out my shell.
It inspired me to write because hers was really good, and it had kind of like a plot twist. Because I thought that they were gonna like rob a bank, but then they actually dealt with George Zimmerman. So she inspired me. My best friend here inspired me to write stories. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Everyone has a story to tell, and all our stories might not be the same, and all of our stories might not be interesting, but there will always be that person who wants to hear your story and that can relate to your story, and that maybe one day will write their own story because of yours. It's like you're creating another writer.